Welcome back to Gundam HQ. Today we're going to be discussing a video I'm sure most, if not all of you, have already seen. The trailer for the newest Gundam Versus game coming straight to PS4. If you haven't seen this trailer yet, I suggest you go watch it first. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Now onto the discussion itself. As the trailer starts, we're shown these old memories of past Versus generations and games, setting the bar for what to expect from this new 5th generation's unveiling. And from what I've seen in this trailer, I'm not disappointed. Not only can we see the inclusion of mobile suits like Barbatos and Full Armor Gundam, mobile suits that console players have no access to currently, but we also see the return of a few familiar faces like the RX-78, Exia, and Unicorn, all of which look great with their either new or completely revamped models suited for a new game on new hardware. However, the models aren't the only things looking much better than before. If you look at the backgrounds, the maps themselves, you'll see that they are already looking much better than what we currently have in Full Boost and Maxi Boost On. From playing Gundam Versus games in the past, it's always been somewhat clear to me that the designers for these games put their focus on the mobile suits the most. Their movesets, their appearances, etc. And they always put the maps themselves in the back seat, or in some cases they just threw them in the trunk. While the game will most definitely give backgrounds similar treatment, it's clear that some more work has been put into them, more than before at least. From watching the video and thinking back on the Reddit post that was released before, I believe it's starting to look like they're going to focus on implementing a stronger single player to this 5th generation game. Referencing the posts, they said that with Force they wanted to secure single player to a new generation of fans, but then they still needed to focus on multiplayer. No doubt they'll bring back multiplayer, but it also seems like they're thinking about single player at least. Plus, the enhanced maps look like they could easily house this new story type mode. Honestly, as I've said before, I would be perfectly fine if the single player in this new game resembled Force. They could even use the story right from their manga, or expand that story with something new but similar, like how they did it with Force. And if they wanted to bring back the whole commanding your squad feature to capture bases, you would not see me complaining. In my opinion, Force was a decent game, built on an amazing concept, but it just wasn't fleshed out enough. It had all the right ideas, but not enough content. It needed more levels, more stories, more characters, etc. More everything in order to extend playtime. So in summary, I hope this 5th generation Versus game draws from Force's single player and expands upon it. Now, onto the roster itself. As we see in the trailer, all of the shown mobile suits already exist in Maxi Boost On's roster, so it makes answering this question harder. Will the 5th generation change the roster of playable characters? Now, before you start throwing your stones and questioning why I would think of this, we've seen it before. As each of the generations started, we saw a major resculpture in roster. For example, the change between Next and Extreme versus Vanilla. A multitude of characters were taken out and replaced with other characters, while maintaining a hold on the most important characters from each series. Sure, they started to bring back characters from Next into Extreme Versus games as time went on, but even in Maxi Boost On, we're still missing some of the cast of Next, like Camphor from War in the Pocket for example. From what I've seen so far from the gameplay though, it looks like the designers are drawing most of their assets from the Extreme generation. As you can see, the mobile suits shown are using moves that clearly resemble their previous set. In my opinion, I hope that they just maintain the same roster from Maxi Boost On, and then expand upon it before release. And I would even be alright if they continue to expand upon it with DLC. So long as this game can tide us over for a few years longer before the next game comes out, I'll be happy with whatever they decide on. As far as I know, we also don't know a release date for this game, and I assume we won't know one for some time. Possibly even another year, but I really hope that's not the case. Now, with all that said, most of this is just speculation and my personal opinions. We really don't have much to go off of at this point, but we can't let this hype die out. Go ahead and leave a comment about what you thought of the trailer and how wrong you think I am. So long as we get some discussion going with it, I'll be pretty happy. So once again, thanks for watching, and this is Gundam HQ, signing off.